U.S. tariffs, the South China Sea dispute, and the ongoing Myanmar crisis are just some of the key issues looming over the ASEAN Summit. Philippine Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo sat down with CNA's Melissa Goh on the sidelines of meetings in Kuala Lumpur today. He emphasized the need for ASEAN members to stay united in addressing these regional concerns and fostering dialogue amongst all stakeholders.
Do you welcome Prime Minister Anwar's move in having an informal advisory group to engage with Myanmar? Is it something that Philippines will continue engaging both sides, the NUG and the SAC?
We want to ensure continuity with what Malaysia's efforts are, especially with regard to Myanmar. And I think the main aim would be to get as many of the stakeholders, whether they be the NUG, the SAC, EAOs, and other groups, to get dialogue. And of course, aside from the humanitarian assistance, to try and promote some kind of a ceasefire in order to also to help the dialogue. So I think if that's the aim, we'll be fulfilling the 5-point consensus, and that's our aim, to see how we can get that process not only moving, but to achieve results. And I think at the moment Malaysia is working on that, so we will continue that approach.
Now, with so much focus on Myanmar and the geo-economic uncertainties, has the issue of South China Sea and the Code of Conduct been overshadowed?
The South China Sea still remains a basic issue, and in the context, of course, for the Philippines it does, but in ASEAN, of course, the Code of Conduct is still the principal vehicle for addressing the tensions in the South China Sea. And many of the leaders already said yesterday that we should aim for an effective, substantive code of conduct with ASEAN and China, and so the commitment is still there. And our hope, at least Philippines, is that we could make very significant progress by next year.
Will Philippines push for the early conclusion of code of conduct? Do you think it's achievable?
Well, I always have hope we'll try to achieve it, but of course our view is it has to be effective, it has to be substantive, and there are many other conditions, but I think these can be, they're achievable. The devil is in the details.
What is going to happen after the 90-day pause on Trump's tariff is over? Should ASEAN be worried?
Well, not worried, but we have to be ready to react to whatever the situation is, because I think it's important that, since all of us are affected, it's important that we work together. And I think the economic ministers have already issued our approach. So we're willing to talk, and we'll talk as a group. And because we all have a common, basically we've all been affected in a very similar way. So it's important. This is one issue where ASEAN unity is, of course, needed.
Now, it's the first time that ASEAN is having an inaugural summit with GCC and China. What's your key takeaway from that, Secretary Manalo?
The important thing is ASEAN who is bringing these actors together. And the fact that they have been willing to come is an indication that they see the importance of ASEAN. That's the way I would view it. And therefore, it's an exercise in many ways of ASEAN centrality. At least the ability of ASEAN to convene meetings and bring in countries and promote dialogue aimed at cooperation. So ASEAN has that attraction. And I hope that we come away from this meeting here in KL with that reaffirmation, and the fact that we have already adopted the vision up to 2045, which is aimed at even strengthening ASEAN even more and enhancing its role in our region, if not the world. And I think that would be my takeaway.